Hi everyone. So this is just a quick video on fats and what fats are, why we need them, and how to choose them. So fat, like carbohydrates, are essential for our for energy. It's one of the sources of energy that our body uses. Once your body finishes using whatever sugars or carbohydrates are available, then it goes into your fat stores. So when you think about exercise, the first about 20 minutes of exercise, now this is exercise where your heart rate is elevated. So the first 20 minutes of elevated heart rate exercise, you're going to be using mostly carbohydrates for energy. After that, you're going to use up all the carbohydrate that's available at that point, and then you'll start using fat for energy. So that's why they say at least 30 minutes of exercise every day, because then you're getting about 10 minutes of that exercise, you're actually burning fat. So we use fat for energy, and it also provides essential fatty acids that we need in our diet, and essential fat-soluble vitamins. So if you remember in one of the other videos, I talked about there were insoluble and soluble vitamins. So those fat-soluble vitamins are vitamins that require fat in order for our body to absorb them and metabolize them. So in general, we want to get less than 20% of our calories per day should be from fat, and less than 7% should be saturated fats. So there's saturated fats and there's unsaturated fats. Your saturated fats are going to be fats that are solid at room temperature. So you can think fat that's on meat is a saturated fat. Butter, coconut oil is actually a saturated fat. So those type of fats, less than 7% of your calories per day should come from the saturated. And then unsaturated fats are typically going to be liquid at room temperature. So think of your olive oil. Fat has 9 calories per 1 gram of fat. So we think back to the carbohydrate video, there were 4 calories per gram of carbohydrates. So fats, 1 gram, you're getting more than double the calories from 1 gram of fat compared to 1 gram of carbohydrate. Trans fats, you've probably heard a lot about these in the news. You may or may not know how to find them or what they are, but these are oils that have hydrogens added to them, and they're very unhealthy. And as you probably know, a lot of places have, including Boston, have banned trans fats in their restaurants because they're so unhealthy. But the way to identify a trans fat, when you look at the food label, you look at the ingredient list, and if it says hydrogenated, partially hydrogenated, that's a trans fat. Now they can trick you, and we'll get into this more with when we get into the food labeling video later, but a label can say 0 grams of trans fat and still have trans fat in it. The way that works is that if there's less than half a gram of trans fat per serving of whatever the food is, they can put 0. So if there's 0.49 grams in one serving, they can put 0. But if you have 2 servings, now you've had close to 1 gram of trans fat, and you want 0. So the way to, don't look at the number, don't look at if it says no trans fat, 0 trans fat, look at the ingredient list. And if it says partially hydrogenated, or if it says hydrogenated, there's trans fats in it, avoid it. Okay, so we want to eat healthy fats. These are your healthy fats. Olive oil is the oil of choice that you want to go for. Avocados, very healthy fats, tons of nutrients in an avocado. I try to eat half of an avocado every day when they're in season because they have so much nutrition in them, and it's a healthy fat. Nuts and nut butters you want to have in moderation, but those are healthier fats that and fatty fishes like sardines, mackerel, and wild salmon are also your healthier fats. So going back to saturated versus unsaturated, I guess I want to kind of give you a visual of why you want to avoid the saturated. So you think about it, if you have a tub of Crisco, or if you have a stick of butter, and you stick a straw in it, and you try to suck up that butter, is it going to go through that straw very easily? No, because it's thick and it's sticky, and it's going to have a hard time getting through that straw, right? So if you take that same straw and you put it into olive oil and you try to suck up that olive oil, is that olive oil going to go through pretty easily? Yeah, it's going to flow pretty nicely. So this is the difference between saturated and unsaturated fats. Now imagine that straw is your artery. Which one would you rather have going through your arteries? The slippery, liquidy one that flows nicely, or the thick, gelatinous one like butter that's going to stick and clog? So you want that the unsaturated, the oily. If you look at nut butter, the natural nut butter, you take off the lid of natural peanut butter, there's going to be a ton of oil on the top. It's that healthy peanut oil. That's that fat that you're getting from those nuts, that healthy oil. So that's kind of my visual for why you want to go for unsaturated over saturated fats. But make sure that you get some healthy fats in your diet every day because they are essential. And stay tuned for proteins. All right, guys, I'll see you later.